It is Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. We are about to be live with Marquez Valdes-Scantling after a big shutout win over the Seattle Seahawks. Kyle, let it roll. Yes, it is Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. The Green Bay Packers are coming off a large win over the Seattle Seahawks. This is the MVS Show, brought to you, of course, by our friends over at Artech Ventures. And the goal at Artech Ventures is to collaborate closely with founders throughout all the investment and fundraising stages, turning their visions into successful companies. Since 2020, Artech Ventures has helped turn great ideas into profitable businesses that make an impact on industries, communities, and beyond. For more information, visit artechventures.com. Appreciate them for sponsoring and making this show possible. Hello, everybody. I am your host of this evening's show. I am Jacob Westendorf, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jacob Westendorf, joined as always by my good frenemy, Todd Varney. Todd, welcome to the show.
Thanks, sir.
And we have in the background now, as the man that you guys are all waiting for, number 83 on the field, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, joining us after a big play this weekend, Marquez. So you got some love on the field and some love in the stands, and we got a bunch going this weekend. Welcome to the show. How you feeling?
What's up, fellas? What's up? What's going on?
It's good to have you here. Appreciate having you. First and foremost, just how good did it feel to be back in front of your home fans and making plays at Lambeau Field?
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, especially for me. I haven't even I think I played one home game this year. So
that's what I was just thinking. You got the Detroit game at the beginning of the year, and then that was it.
Yeah, that was it. So it was good to be back in Lambeau, making some noise.
It was good to see you back on the field, and we've got our friends in the background. So, Todd, go ahead and get your update on our friends.
Dog's doing well still. I see him moving around back there.
Yeah, they're back here playing with toys. Well, Spade's on the floor sleeping next to me, and Ace is in the back playing with a toy.
Perfect. So you played the Detroit game, and then you played this weekend, obviously. Are you excited to play a home game where there's not precipitation, or does that not bother you one way or the other?
I mean, obviously, it's never fun to play in any type of bad weather. I'd rather play in 70-degree weather all the time. But that's not really how it works in Lambeau Field. The frozen tundra. So,
spoken like a true Floridian.
If it has to be cold for the game, do you prefer snow or no?
Prefer snow over what?
Like if it's going to be cold no matter what, like, is it just cooler when it's, I feel like, as a fan, if I got to be there freezing, I want to see the snow. It just makes for a better spectacle, but I'm guessing for you guys, no?
No, there's no benefit of playing in the snow, unless you're AJ Dillon and people don't want to tackle you in the snow. But other than that, it sucks for all of us.
So that's his two best games of his career are now games where it was snowing during the course of the game. Is that something that just activates, or do you think it just makes it harder for him to tackle because he's such a big guy?
Yeah, he's 240 pounds. Can you stop barking? I'm trying to do an interview here.
I appreciate your input there.
Yeah, he says you're welcome. He wants his brother to play with him. So I'll let you guys see what I'm looking at right here. So they're right behind me. You move.
There you go. All right. Well, at least one of them's a good boy, right?
You move. Go play with your brother. I think it's hard. He's harder to tackle in the cold in general. And obviously when it's snow on the ground, you don't have as much traction. So defenders kind of fall down a little bit easier when they can't put their foot in the ground and tackle a 240-pound back. So,
Todd, we mentioned the deep ball in warm-ups. There was something that you noticed? Or not in warm-ups. I apologize. The open of the show, I should say.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now, but we can talk about the deep ball during the game if you want to.
That's what I meant. I meant to mention that. Yes.
Okay. When you lined up on that one, Like, I knew you were going to be open on that before the ball was even snapped, just looking at how they had the coverage set up on that. Did you know that too? And when you burned him by that much, like, I just, you're so fast just running past somebody like that. Walk me through what that's like. And like I said, did you know you were going to be open on that?
Well, it you just never know. You gotta kind of always be prepared. The the sad part about how defenses play me and our team is they use a lot of cover two shells and disguising a lot of coverages, so we can't get that big play opportunity. So when we do get the opportunity, which doesn't happen often, because guys just play us completely different, especially when I'm on the field because I'm known for that. Doesn't happen that often, and so when they didn't bring the safety back toward my side of the field like they normally do, I had a good chance of getting that one.
So we had during the game, that was the Packers. I don't know if you know this, the first shutout since 2018. In the last 3 weeks, you guys have played, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, and then Sunday, Russell Wilson. The defense is playing so well. They're third in the NFL in terms of points allowed. A lot of other numbers obviously favor them relatively well. What do you attribute their success to the most so far this season?
I think just being in position to make the plays and letting those guys kind of just do what they do best. And I think that's kind of the difference. I think between this year and last year, because we haven't really added much of a difference, besides Dre at Mike linebacker. Um, but for the most part, we got the same guys or the same quality of guys in those positions. I think it's just being able to put those guys in positions where they can succeed and not really have to depend on other guys messing up. Like the offense messing up is more so we're gonna let our guys be better than their guys, opposed to just letting our guys play it safe and see what happens from there.
You mentioned Dre in the middle, obviously. How much can that change if your guy in the green dot is somebody who's one as experienced as Campbell is and playing as well as he is throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Dre is having an all-pro year. I think he's one of the best Mike linebackers in the NFL right now. And me and 12 were talking about it a couple weeks ago, like at the cafeteria one day, and then we were talking about it like at the game another time. Just like, how was this guy on the street? Like it makes no sense about like, there's guys out there who are talented as he is, who can be a all pro linebacker, was on the street, and we got him for a steal. I think his contract was like 1 year, $2 million or something like that. And he's playing like an all pro linebacker. Playing better than some of these guys who are getting paid millions and millions of dollars. He's just a great addition to our locker room. He comes to work every day. He's already a leader. He's running that defense, and his performance is backing it up just as much. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's here, long term with the C on his chest. So,
wow.
So with that, I mean, we've seen obviously injuries have been a huge issue this season. Seems like every week somebody else is going down for a couple of weeks at least. What is it with that new kind of defensive scheme with Joe Barry that helps guys? I mean, it really almost seems like it doesn't matter who's out there with them. If they've got the G on their helmet, I mean, they're just stepping in and the defense doesn't miss a beat. I mean, is that so much schematically, or has the level of talent on that side of the ball and the depth just changed that much?
like I said, the depth hasn't really changed that much. We've had these same guys. We had a couple new additions, obviously, just bringing in Stokes and Sewell and a couple other guys. But for the most part, our core group of guys have been there. And I think it's just a testament to who we are as a team, not even just on defense, but we've had injuries on both sides of the ball, and we've been able to, go out and win games. And I think that's the most important part about, this who we are as a team. We're super resilient, and it's always that next man up mentality. And I think just we all practice the same way. We all hold each other to a certain standard. And I think that's what's created, this winning culture and this, next man up mentality where guys can go out and still perform well.
You talk about mentalities. I know last year we asked Jamal who the best trash talker on the team was, and he said it was himself. And Seattle's kind of known for that, at least in the past, for guys like Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, guys like that. But who's the best trash talker on your team right now?
I mean, it's me. It was me last year. It'll always be me.
I'll have to let Jamal know that he was lying to us throughout
Yeah,
last season. So it's
he
you.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's the best trash talker that you've gone up against then?
Believe it or not, a lot of guys don't talk trash in the NFL, man. It's a weird dynamic, and you'll see it. You'll see them talk trash to other teams, but when they come and play the Packers, it's just not a lot of trash talking. For the DBs at least. I guess because they just know like at any given time things can change, and you'll have Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 60 yards over your head. So there's not a lot of trash talking. It's a weird dynamic, man. I don't really know. I've had a couple like D linemen talk trash to me, but I'm like, bro, I don't even. Like, why are you talking to me? Like, I don't get
Right.
it. Like, I literally have no idea who you are or what you do or why are you talking to me? So I've
What
had a couple of guys do that. At the D line position, but at corner and safety, you don't really hear a lot of guys. They might make a play or something and they'll say something, but it's rare, super rare.
rare.
Hmm.
Well, one of those cases was on Sunday. Jamal Adams gets an interception in the end zone, and he and his teammates are in the end zone doing the belt. Is that something you guys even notice, pay any attention to? Because I don't know if you know the numbers and everything like that, but it's pretty phenomenal what you guys do offensively after something like that happens. Do you guys notice? Do you guys care? Is that just a complete coincidence?
No, we don't notice it. We're usually walking off to the sideline, so we're not really concerned what they're doing on the other end, to be completely honest.
So today the Packers sold stock for the first time in about a decade, and a couple of your teammates bought it and are now self-employed, I guess you could say. Did you consider buying any stock today?
Yeah, I saw something about it, but when I got in there, it was talking about like a 2-hour wait or something. I was in the middle of something, so I was like, maybe next time.
Maybe next time, indeed. So obviously we've got the dogs in the background. The nickname of one of your teammates is Big Dog, and one of the additions to Lambeau this week that I noticed, maybe it's happened before, but it was the first time I noticed it, was when he catches a pass, the dog's barking over the loudspeaker there. So that led me to ask, you don't have a nickname per se, but if there was a sound effect after you caught a pass or something like that, what do you think that would be?
Uh, I don't know. I don't really have a nickname, so yeah, no, I wouldn't really have a sound. I think the coolest thing I've ever seen when I was in college, Marlon Mack was our running back. He plays for the Colts now.
Mhm.
And anytime he scored a touchdown, they would play Return of the Mac. So I think
Nice.
that was really dope. And he scored a lot of touchdowns. So anytime he scored, they played that. I thought that was really dope. And he's
So
definitely one of my favorite players all time, especially in college. So
So since you don't have a sound effect for that, I know before the game sometimes they used to do like DJ's Choice or something like that.
hmm
So you're a big Drake fan, so I think I know where the answer is going here. But what song would you pick for yours?
for a touchdown,
And
um,
I mean, before the game they'll do that, or if it was a touchdown, you can pick whatever way you want to go here.
I don't know. It's a great question. I have to think about that one. Kind of just depends on the mood. That's one of those questions where you gotta kind of be feeling it. So it could be one of those games where you want to hear some, turn up music, or it could be a game where you just want to like quiet before the storm, or So it just kind of depends on the mood.
Did you ever have walk-up music for baseball?
Nah. We didn't really do that when I was playing. So
That's frustrating. That feels like, I don't know. I mean, something I feel like you should have had. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Did they not know who you were? Can you just tell them?
I mean, in baseball, it's a little different. And not a professional athlete in baseball. So
I suppose that's fair.
you
So
know,
we're actually getting up here for it's almost Thanksgiving. So first of all, apparently this is a thing. Do you like Thanksgiving food?
hmm
Okay, so what's your go-to for your favorite food on Thanksgiving?
you got to go with the ham for the base meal, and then I'm a big macaroni and cheese guy. Go with the candied yams or some mashed potatoes, green beans. Um, got to get the rolls in there at some point. Um, you can do the sweet potato pie. Um, Not a huge pumpkin pie guy. Not my speed. What else we got? No, you can do some stuffing or whatever. But those are my go-tos.
Is that something you can do a lot of since you guys play 2 days after the fact?
Yeah. I normally cook on Thanksgiving because I'm up here. But when I'm back home, my grandmother does all the cooking. My grandmother and my dad does all the cooking for Thanksgiving. So, but when I'm up here, because obviously can't go back home during Thanksgiving, I typically do the cooking myself.
So Chef Marquez, for those that are interested during the Thanksgiving holiday, I'm sure he's cooking for a large group of people. Let's get to some of our fan questions here. The first one we have is Peter Preston. He says, "What do you think of the new Halo?"
I haven't played it. I'm not an Xbox guy, so always been a PlayStation guy. So Halo hasn't really been my thing. But they're gonna have it on PC, so I'll probably give it a spin.
Give that a spin and have that. I'm trying to think. The first Halo came out when I was like 14. I don't remember how it's been out for a long time. That's crazy to me that they're still making new ones. Then again, do you remember the first Call of Duty? Because I feel like they've made 100 of those.
The first one,
or maybe the first one that you played.
The first one I played was probably Call of Duty 4. Yeah, I think Call of Duty 4 was the first one I played.
So Call of Duty 4. Okay, so that's been quite some time as well. Let's throw up the other one, Kyle. We've got one here from Jamie, no last name. And she says, do you have set stat goals for yourself? For example, a certain amount of yards per reception at the end of the season?
Jamie, no last name. I do not have a number that I like to focus on. I think focusing on those kind of stats don't really get you anywhere because then you get consumed with that and not really focusing on, wins and losses. And that's what's kind of important here in the National Football League, believe it or not. So,
a team first guy, you got to love that all the way together. Marquez, we're going to let you go a little early tonight because I know you've got a big couple of weeks coming up here. And the coach said that you guys retired after your guys' win on Sunday. So you got a big week against the Vikings, who that's a big deal around here. At least I can tell you that much. And then a big game next week against the Rams before you hit the bye week. So he's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You could follow him on Twitter at MVS11 and find his merchandise selection at sixselection.com. Feel free to get some of that stuff as well. Marquez, look forward to seeing you in the end zone like you were. Almost. I think last year in Minnesota, you almost had like 3 touchdowns. You got tripped up twice, like inside the 5 or something stupid like that. So
yeah,
we're looking
for gotta be better next time. Gotta get in the end zone.
So we're looking forward to a big game for you on Sunday. Thanks for stopping by, Marquez. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you, fellas.
Thanks, Marquez.
That's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Like I mentioned, you could follow him on Twitter at MVS_11. Todd, a couple things that stuck out there. The big thing to me was his comment about Devandra Campbell. For somebody who's been there, I think Dre came in, May, June-ish. And I remember he didn't say this, but Gutekunst basically did. After they didn't even want to sign him, so to speak. It was just after the draft, somebody asked him about linebacker and he said, yeah, that's something we'll have to address. We didn't get to it as early as we wanted to. So the only reason maybe not the only reason, I shouldn't say that, but one of the biggest reasons that Dre is even a Packer is because the Packers weren't able to draft somebody. And now he's saying that this is a guy who could be in Green Bay long-term with a C on his chest. And that is, you look at the Packers have 7 captains. Matt LaFleur said he views Zadarius Smith as a captain, so they could have easily had 8, maybe more. And you look at just the leaders on this team, and now he's saying a guy that just got here in June could be that. What do you feel about that? Stuck out to me.
Yeah, I think Devandra Campbell, the league hasn't quite taken notice to what he's done yet in his career or this season. He's been a pretty solid guy, but the way he's playing this year, definitely a bargain. I didn't expect this out of him, but I'll take it. Definitely. And then him, it seems like he's helping elevate, Chris Barnes in that role as well, understand and play a bit better too. So it's nice to have that veteran guy. We were kind of hoping Kirksey was going to have that presence last year when he was taking that role, which didn't happen. So it's nice to see somebody step in. And for the first time in a long time, Green Bay actually has a very viable, defensive threat at middle linebacker.
That they do. Maybe it's coincidental. Maybe it's not. But I know this is the best Packers defense to date that we've seen since 2010. Again, that year, that team had Desmond Bishop and A.J. Hawk having the best year of his career. Again, maybe that's a coincidence. Maybe it's not, but I can tell you if Brian Gutekunst is watching this show, and I promise you he is, something maybe to prioritize a little bit here in the future. We've got a big day ahead tomorrow too, Todd. My understanding is maybe a friend of Marquez Valdez-Scantling's joining Lombardi's Bar.
Absolutely. We will have Kenny Clark on Lombardi's Bar tomorrow night. He will be popping in. We're actually going to be interviewing him shortly here this evening, and get that out to you guys tomorrow. A little bit later than we usually go, because Open Book decided to one-up us, so we graciously let them take our spot and slide in. They will have Randall Cobb at 7:00 tomorrow night. So you'll get Randall Cobb at 7. You'll get Kenny Clark at 8:15 right here on Game On Wisconsin.
It's a never-ending cycle of interesting people to talk to, and we have another guest that I wanted to bring in. And Jimmy Christensen is here, guys. Jimmy was giving me, was that the number 1 sign that you had in the background there?
Yeah, I was giving you both the number 1.
I appreciate 2 number 1s. Thank you very much. But yes, congratulations on Kenny Clark, and yes, Open Book tomorrow night. Jen Mackey, Eli Berkovitz, and Zach Jacobson will be joined by Randall Cobb. And I made the joke last week on the Pick Six that is the show where we put all the beautiful people, and then you just add in Randall Cobb's eyes. And I'm dead serious when I say this, guys. My wife refers to Randall Cobb as the one with the pretty eyes. She can never remember his name, but she remembers his eyes. So kudos for that. Kudos
she calls
for
me that
Kenny
too.
I mean, whatever. I don't even
That's
know
a much better nickname than my wife has for him. So
I don't want to know. It's better off. I'm better off.
That's enough.
That's enough. There we go, guys. So you guys have some stuff to get to. We will be back next week. The Green Bay Packers are taking on the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. It's a noon game. Thank God. It feels like the Packers don't have any of those. So it'll be a noon game in Minnesota. Real quick, Todd, we got to do stat predictions. So what's your stat line for MVS?
I think it's a big week for him. He's kind of been bouncing back, getting back into the swing of things. I'm going to say 4 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
I will go 4 catches, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he hits 1 big one and 1 small one. Jimmy, you're here, so we'll let you do it.
Yeah. I'm going to go big on this one. I'm going to say 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'll give him 5 catches.
There we go. So you guys have those. We'll be able to do that. Vikings Super Bowl, that's PJ Hunter. That is on Sunday. Unfortunately, the Vikings are unable to ever really participate in the actual Super Bowl, so they have to play against the Packers.
They rarely participate in this Super Bowl either.
That's also fair. I got bad news for the Vikings fans too. And on the rare occasion that they do win this particular Super Bowl, it does not get a trophy in those cases. But we're out of time. I appreciate you guys stopping in. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Want to thank our sponsors, Artec Ventures and Lakefront Brewery, as well as Discover Green Bay. And we had a little bit of a hiccup, for those of you that know. Some COVID-19 related issues have delayed us being able to announce the Packers Pro Shop gift card winner. So first of all, stay healthy, stay safe. And 2, we'll have that winner to you as soon as possible. But until then, next week, we'll see you with MVS, with myself, Todd Varney, Jimmy Christensen, and Kyle on the sticks. Kyle, take us home.